I first reviewed Oceanhorn 2 back in September 2019, and since then, the game has gone through some significant changes and updates. With the macOS version finally released in October last year, performance, stability, and graphical improvements across the board, and now in June 2020, its first major update, known as the Golden Edition. In today's video, I'm going to show you a preview of the Golden Edition, and let's see if the game's performance has improved from launch. The Golden Edition update is not focused on new content. Instead, Cornfox and Bros have, for the most part, provided us with a polish update. Yes, there is a few new things for players to tackle in terms of content, but I'll talk about that later in the video. Firstly, Oceanhorn 2 now looks a little better post-update, with improved animations across the board, various cutscenes have been fleshed out, and a new physically based water simulation is here for added realism. Plus, a 60 FPS mode is now available for high-end devices, which you can enable from the system menu. The following Apple devices are supported for the 60 FPS mode. Pause the video now to see if your device is listed. At launch, Oceanhorn 2 was capped at 30 FPS. However, you may have come across some occasional hiccups and big frame rate drops on the odd occasion. This update attempts to address those issues. When trying out the 60 FPS mode across my iPhone 11, iPad Pro 3rd Gen and Mac, I did notice significantly more stable performance, and there were no big frame rate drops that I would get on the very odd occasion back in September last year. Yes, the frame rate wasn't always sticking to 60 FPS, sometimes it did drop just a little when exploring these open locations, but overall the difference is night and day, and playing this huge adventure game at this higher frame rate is a real treat to the eyes. The macOS and Apple TV versions of Oceanhorn 2 now offer the ability to select between high and low graphical settings. That's great for those who have Macs with weak graphics cards and still want to enjoy the game and at a high frame rate. Unfortunately, the Apple TV HD and Apple TV 4K didn't receive the 60 FPS mode as the hardware is just too weak. I would also suggest playing at low graphics quality on these devices to maintain a steadier frame rate. I'm hoping that at WWDC later in June, Apple unveil a new, more powerful Apple TV. Cornfox have also polished the user experience with overhauled menus, which are now cleaner than before, allowing the player to more easily assign shards. They have also improved gameplay and combat mechanics, so it's easier to understand, especially if you're a new player. Parrying attacks from the enemy is more tightened up. That also applies to the XP progression system. It's also great to know that general level design has been greatly improved upon in several problematic areas. You will also enjoy improved loading times, and now we have over 100 new spoken voiceovers to help make certain interactions and the story clearer overall. Now, in terms of new content for this update, we have 3 notable features to look at. First is the Shield of Kronos version 1, which is a prototype to the version used in the first game. This shield deflects blaster fire and protects you from laser turrets, which is super handy. You can obtain this shield at the end of a brand new dungeon found in the Grand Core in the White City. Then is the Criminal Hunt expansion, which is a series of side quests found on the map, adding infamous super enemies that need to be found and brought to justice. You'll find new boards around the main cities, and each provide hints on the location to find these super enemies. And last, Cornfox and Bros have expanded the game's ending, bringing never-before scenes that shed light on the hero's destiny. I know some gamers were confused by the game's ending. It just kind of ended without much context, especially because originally it was best if you had played the first game. I'm not going to spoil the ending, but let's just say, for newcomers, or for those who have already finished Oceanhorn 2, now is the best time to play the game in its entirety. Keep in mind, playtime for this game is 20 plus hours now, and expect the duration to grow more in the next content update. Have you played Oceanhorn 2 yet? Have you finished the game? Are you going to try out the Golden Edition update? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and subscribe and turn on notifications to stay up to date with everything Apple Arcade related. Anyway, thanks for watching.